Well, hello. Here we are.
Here we are. Good morning, everybody. Welcome
Good
to the rant.
morning.
Welcome to the rant. Oh, we even haven't uploaded our backgrounds or anything for
No,
the
we
rant
haven't.
yet. We are soft launching into September all over the place.
Yeah, well, this new
Wow.
streaming platform that we're using, which I really love. I have to say, I really love our new streaming platform.
Yeah, I
Really
like the look.
grateful.
I like the feel.
Mhm. But
It seems pretty easy.
but we didn't put ourselves together.
But we just haven't put ourselves together yet.
Yeah, so
Yeah. So welcome everybody. This is the Rant Radically Affirmative New Thought. I am Saint Steph, and I'm with
and I'm
One Love
Dr. Jay-Z.
Awakening. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're here to just chat and to have a radically affirmative new thought, a new way of
Mhm.
thinking about whatever it is you guys want to talk about. If you're looking for some clarity or some support, you got something you're working on, some growing edge you're pressing up against, we'd love to know. Let us know in
Mhm.
the comments. Let us know if you're watching. Oh, Danny.
hello.
Hello. We're live now, bud. You can't do that. So we are here. We are here. So yes, let us know in the comments you're watching, where you're watching from. If you're on Facebook, thumbs up or the love button. We love those loves. For sure, click that share button. That will work wonders for our algorithm for sure.
Mhm.
If you're on YouTube, thumbs up. That's the choice you get. Actually, in YouTube now, you can also share. You could hit the share button and it goes somewhere to like some sort of YouTube news feed that we get now. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I love that. I just realized I'm going to share on Facebook to my feed.
Yes.
We're live.
We're live.
Here I
Yeah.
am. Yay. There we go.
Yeah. And we've got Lorelai,
Wave.
hello,
Hello,
hugs and
hello.
peace. Yeah. We call those parades. That's a little emoji parade we've got.
Love
What's
that.
this one? Trees? What is that?
Trees.
Oh, yes. Here we go. My 17-year-old and I were chatting about create a rant music playlist to dance it. Yes.
Ooh.
Dance your rant. I like that.
Yeah.
What would be on your playlist? What would be on your playlist?
You know, one of the things we did here at Unity of Tucson is we started having people say, "Oh, I love that song. Where can I find it? I love that song. Where can I find?" Because we're very music heavy in our Sunday celebration here, and
Mm-hmm.
I keep track. If you knew how I have spreadsheets of every single song that has ever been performed since I started here at Unity of Tucson,
Oh my
and
gosh.
yeah. Anyway, I finally thought, well, why don't I create a Unity of Tucson favorites playlist on Spotify? And
Oh.
so we have a lot of our music there on Spotify under Unity of Tucson favorites. I think you can look it up. It's a public playlist. So if that was of interest to you, you could check that out.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll
Yes.
probably be a lot of the
Awesome.
same stuff we'd put on our rant playlist.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's your go-to? Like, okay, you're having a day, you're in the kitchen, you need something music on right now. What is it?
Mhm.
What are you putting on? Like, I just need to hear something. I need to like move my body and get whatever this funk is out of. What's going on? What's going on?
So if you're asking me that question, like you're asking
Yeah.
me that question, I have
Everybody.
different modes for different parts of my life. So if I'm
Mhm.
cooking in the kitchen, I guarantee you I'm putting on music like Ella Fitzgerald and,
Mm.
like the classic American songbook.
Yes.
That's what I listen to when I'm cooking. If I'm in the office, I listen to classical music because I have my brain. So I have this thing in my brain. I cannot do work if I hear lyrics. Like my brain will
Mhm.
want to go and focus on the lyrics of a song. So I can't listen to songs with lyrics. So I listen to classical music in the office. But when I dance to new wave, like the 1980s. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So
Taylor Swift, you need to calm down.
yes,
Yes. Love it.
I'm
Love
I,
it.
my sister is such a Swiftie.
Yeah.
50s.
Yes.
Trying to get me on that train. And I like Taylor Swift, but I'm not nearly as like, oh my gosh, I have to listen to Taylor.
Yeah.
She went to the Eras tour, my sister. I think, well, she for sure went once. I'm like, did she go twice? Maybe. I don't remember. Anyway. Good morning, Anita. Grateful to see you.
Yeah, good
Yes.
morning. Yes, hello, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
one of the
Walking
big
on
ones that nice,
Walking on
Walking on
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
That is on our
Yeah.
Unity of Tucson playlist on Spotify.
Walking on
Yeah.
Sunshine.
But yeah, New
Yeah.
Wave is my jam because I'm a child. I like my teenage years were in the 1980s, and like I was a Depeche Mode, The Cure,
Oh,
the
yes.
Ramones. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I was a New Wave. I was a New Wave.
I really feel like I'm musically, I feel I'm stuck between the 70s and the 2000s, like the early 2000s, right? Like that's where all of my that's where my algorithm hits me. That's where it's like if I'm in a mood or a space, there's just some songs that can come on and I'll be like, "Oh, right, I'm not alone in this thing that I'm working through." Like there's just so much muscle memory built into the soundtrack of our lives, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays though, like if I'm like, oh, just I need music on, I'm probably going with Pharrell, Happy.
Okay.
Come on, like just putting it on and cranking it and dancing for the whole thing. Another one would be just like a silly that Brave song, Sarah
Bareilles. Right.
Bareilles, yeah. I want to see you be brave. I want to see you be brave. Like those songs that are just spiritually motivated, I guess, in a sense, right? To authenticity and joy. Be radical in your joy.
I'm just looking at my one of my playlists on my phone. My chiropractor, whenever I go, and he's got great music playing, but he has oftentimes satsang, which and it's really like contemporary music that is in alignment with the New Thought message. So check that out. I don't know. All of a sudden, we've never talked about music before in this way. It's so funny. And then
Today's
also Lucas Mack. I love Lucas Mack. Yes.
Oh,
Michael Franti. Yes. In fact, I have a Michael Franti hat. I've been, if you've not experienced Michael Franti,
I don't.
And Spearhead in it like live, it is worth experiencing Michael Franti and Spearhead live. Like one of the greatest concert experiences I've ever had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another get up song for me is "We Didn't Start the Fire."
We didn't start the fire. Yeah. Well, you know me. I sometimes my get up songs are songs that I have to just like sing out loud.
Yes. REM. Yeah.
REM.
Yeah, you have to sing them out loud. You catch them in your ear. You're a megaphone. This is the way, right? It's the yeah. And sometimes there's songs that get stuck in my head. Like it starts to hurt because I can't get it out of my head. And that's why I definitely need other playlists on. And then someone I live with will walk in humming the song I just got out of my head, and I will lose it. So I gotta go. When things get earwormed so hardcore and they latch on, I have the brain that's always in motion. I need help sometimes shutting off those other things. And so playlists are super important to me. Yeah.
Martin Kerr, since Terry, you've mentioned Martin Kerr. I'm not bad myself, but you're amazing. Have you heard that song, Steph?
I don't know. I haven't heard recent Martin Kerr stuff.
Great song. But what I think we should do, we should actually reach out to Martin and see if he would be a guest and maybe do some music.
Sure. We have talked about that before. Yeah, absolutely. Having some musical New Thought guests on would be awesome. Yes.
I'm sure Gary Lynn Floyd, Amy Steinberg, Jamie Lula, Faith Rivera, they're all people that I, have relationships with. I should just reach out to them and say, hey.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The Gen Zers in my life have really taught me there's no harm in asking.
Well, one of my mantras in life, and this is a great new thought teaching. You can't get the yes unless you ask,
Yeah.
but you're
Yep.
more than likely guaranteed the no if you don't ask.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. The divine is not withholding from you. You haven't asked.
exactly. What is so in Matthew chapter 7, Jesus invites us into this way of praying. Ask and it shall be given.
Ask and it shall be given. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
The divine yes is always in motion. We have to say yes for ourselves, for it to
yes.
show up in our sight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will rock you.
Rock you. Mhm.
Yes. Um,
Yes.
A little
Oh,
Johnny Cash, Terry.
Johnny Cash.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like music is so important. Like when I look at my whole healing journey, if we're gonna call it healing, if we're gonna
Mhm.
call it healing, my whole journey has had a soundtrack, and I know every one of us is touched by music in some way. And I remember hearing Amy Bishop, another another magnificent powerhouse of New Thought music, and she was on the launch. It's a Canadian version of The Voice, and it was just amazing.
Mhm.
She totally should have won. Um,
I
but
think Amy Bishop
she
should
was
win everything.
interviewed. Yeah, I might be a little biased. I know her so well. She was sang at my wedding,
Yeah.
so like that's my relationship. But she was saying, that her like just it's an honor to be in someone's soundtrack.
Mhm.
Like that musicians have like if musicians could just remember that often, that it's a privilege and a blessing to be in someone's soundtrack.
Mhm.
It's not about being the most famous musician in the world, but you are touching people's hearts because
Yeah.
music sings right to our soul.
Yeah.
There's like Blue Rodeo. I have, as a healed person or someone who remembers I'm whole, I have not listened to Blue Rodeo. But when I was in the depths of despair, contemplating different versions of non-existence, there
Mm.
there was Blue Rodeo was my soundtrack in a tape cassette, and the music was just so raw and so gosh, I can't even remember the song. It was on repeat in my life when I was really struggling with who I am, struggling with living at all. There's those songs that are like, okay, these people are singing about it. They must have felt this because I know the music that I have created always comes from a feeling place. And
Mhm.
I'm not alone in
Mhm.
those deep dark chords that somehow magically play together to
Yeah.
open us up and reveal something that is magnificent, right?
Yeah.
So there's the sounds of our depression or our devastation or our sorrow are equally powerful to the ones that can get us up on the dance floor,
Mhm.
right? And our whole life is measured by music.
Yeah.
I I grew up in a very musical home. My father has been playing guitar for 65 years of his 79 years, and I grew up listening to Willie Nelson and
Mhm.
just like all of those 50s and 60s and 70s music was in my house all the time. So
Mhm.
there's a phase when I left the house, I'm like, If I never hear another Willie Nelson song, it'll be okay." But now if I hear Willie Nelson, I'm like, "Oh my gosh," it just brings me back to a
Yeah.
childhood or to a presence or to an experience.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think is so powerful about, you know, communities that meet on Sundays. They have a flow, and music is such an important part of that music and message. Sometimes music is the message. And I just, yeah, have that opportunity to be immersed in music is such a blessing. There's an episode of, I'm talking a lot right now. I'm ranting myself today. There's an episode of Angel, right? An episode of Angel where I think his name was Lauren, is one of the creatures that was visiting his home dimension or his home planet, or I don't even know. It was so long ago.
He was one of like the like the nice demons. Right?
He was the nice
Yeah.
demon, yeah. And he could, yeah, he left home because he wasn't allowed to sing. There was no music, no singing where he was. And Tammy and I always joke about this one episode because it, like, a life without music. And so his mom was like telling his brother, like, Morlock, do the dance of shame or something, you know, like, you do the dance. And it was just like robotic something because there's no music. And yeah, life is just so much better if there's music.
Yeah.
And we don't
you won't
even
get
have
an
to
argument from me on that.
Yeah.
You do make me think, though, that it is wonderful to have musicians on the playlist, and I agree with that sentiment. Like, what an honor it is if as a musician you're on somebody's playlist. Like, that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
And here's my call, because I think sometimes we forget that, you know, we have easy access to music now through streaming services like Spotify or Apple Music or, you know, whatever. Like, we have such easy access to music that we don't give a lot of thought to in terms of the finances of it. And I am a tithing. I live from a tithing consciousness. And so while I tithe to my spiritual community, because that is where I receive spiritual nourishment, another place where I receive spiritual nourishment is from musicians. And I have made a practice of tithing directly to musicians. And so I would say, if you receive spiritual nourishment from any musician out there, find a way to contribute to them.
And there is a way. Especially nowadays, right? So many musicians are on Patreon, and so you can contribute monthly to them. Even now on YouTube, like, you can join their community versus subscribe, or, you know, they buy them a cup of coffee. I listened to just a woman. I just found a woman doing a cover of a Jan Arden song, and I was like, here you go. Thanks for this 4 minutes of a really amazing version of a Jan Arden's Good Mother. I'm learning Good Mother on guitar, so I listen, and I wanted to see other things. And it's like, there's an opportunity right now for you to click a button and give. Like, if you feel something, if someone instills a feeling in you, click a button that says donate, click a button that says join, click a button. That's how easy it is now to make a contribution.
Yeah, it really is.
Even your spiritual teachers have buttons you can click now. Right? Yes. Oh my gosh. Let's see. We've got some
there's been a lot of chat happening. Like,
what is this one? Nako Bear and Medicine for the People, Letters to God. I'll have to go check that out. Yeah. Blue Rodeo is still touring. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's incredible. Absolutely. Yeah. October 17th in Winnipeg. Huh. I think now if listening to Blue Rodeo would just make me cry. Yes, absolutely. Lost Together. Thank you, Terry. I love that. If you feel something, give something. Absolutely. Exactly, right? That's what tithing is. Tithing should never be out of obligation. If you are feeling joy, if you have received joy, if you have received a feeling of grace or beauty or a feeling, that's your opportunity to say yes, to give back. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that was the song. that was the song on repeat for sure.
Mhm.
For sure. I should go back and listen to it and see if I can make it through the whole song.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Who knew that the rant would be all about music today? I love this.
We can rant about anything. We're free.
We are free. Freedom is the birthright of
Yeah.
every living soul.
Freedom is the birthright of every living soul. That is my truth. Absolutely. I
Mhm.
I find like I just have a new sense of being right now, and I know I shared a little bit about that last Wednesday, like a new lease on life on
Mhm.
this side of whatever it was that I just made it through. And I really am enjoying submersing myself back into study and devotion. And with a new awareness of what that devotion is, I'm not devoting or worshiping something outside of myself. I'm literally devoting myself to my own spiritual practice and to
Mm.
my relationship with that divine thing that is inside of me. And so every day now I'm studying and taking time to devote to that study. And I'm getting glossy. I just have this new whole thing that is going on in my life because of that new devotion, taking the time, and everything I'm studying and chewing on is just so perfect for what it is that I've just gone through or what it is that I'm dissecting in my own life. So you guys watching right now, what are you chewing on in your life right now?
Yeah.
What are you spending time with? Because I know I have spent far too much time on something that was not moving me forward. All the resistance that I was feeling and pushing through, all of that stuff. Stop resisting and start paying attention to what it is the divine has in store for you. It's already inside of you, all the answers, all the whispers, all the nudges. But but I'm the one who put up the barricades and the boulders trying to fit into something. And the moment I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna fit. I'm not gonna fit in that hole. You can't put a square thing in a round thing, right? I'm not gonna fit in that hole or in that gear. That's not going to work for me. We have to come to that place, and then something magical happens in that awareness. I've been listening to a lot of Adi Ashanti, who's 30-year, like he's been teaching for 30 years simply on awakening. And and you, Jonathan, you're the deep question is always like, I know nothing. What do I need to know?
Mhm.
His question, Adi Ashanti's question is, who am I?
Mhm.
Who am I today? Because it might not be the same person I was yesterday. Who am I today?
Practically
What
guaranteed it's not the same person you were yesterday.
Yeah. I'm not the same person I was a month ago, that's for sure.
I'm not the same person I was 5 minutes ago.
Mm,
Mm.
right? Yeah,
Mhm.
because we have new information and new frequencies and new
Mm.
energy, acclimating
Yeah.
into us, through us, and I'm just excited. I'm just excited to have this new opportunity. I mean, my 8-year-old show, Wake Up, Say Thank You, we're in our 9th season now. But and it started with that premise of waking up and being grateful for the day.
Mhm.
And for 8 years, it feels like I was just asleep while doing that. Because 'Cause I've been doing it for a whole week now in season 9 as this new thing, as this new person. And it's so different for me. I don't know if it's different for anybody else, but for me, it feels so different. And it's
Well,
truly me accepting the opportunity that today I wake up and today I am so grateful for this day, for this opportunity.
I would think that even if people don't have a conscious awareness of it, there's something below the level of awareness that
Mhm.
resonates with the transformation that you have brought to everything you do in your life as a spiritual coach and mentor.
Mm.
And if there's a difference for you, and wake up, say thank you, even if people are not actively aware of it, there's a difference for them as well.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I love about the spiritual philosophy of New Thought, is that it is an invitation to constantly be in a state of spiritual evolution. When I came back to Tucson back in 2018, and I launched, before I came to Unity, I had launched a new spiritual community. It was really focused more on the tenets of religious science and the manner that religious science teaches New Thought, because that was my background and my training. And it was called Tucson New Thought. And I loved it because TNT, right? That was what, hey, I'm heading down to TNT. But
Yeah.
the sub on all of our marketing, it said a center for spiritual evolution. Because for me, I think it's important that we live a conscious life. I think it's important that we live a spiritual life. But part of that, for me, part of the practice of New Thought, is to constantly stay in an evolutionary frame of mind, because there's always something more to know. I love that I'm part of the infinite wholeness, and I also know that while I have access to infinite wisdom and infinite knowledge and infinite intelligence, my active awareness is limited in its accessing that knowledge. And so there's always more to know and to accept in my life. And so I'm in a constant state of evolution. Spiritual evolution is what it's all about for me.
Absolutely. That's it. That's it. Yeah,
Yeah. Because
absolutely.
here's the thing: as a spiritual leader, if I'm not growing, my community is not growing. And if we're not
Right.
evolving, then we might be stagnant, or even worse, we might be devolving. And
Yeah.
that is not acceptable to me.
And if we are looking at the world with unclear eyes right now, we will see the action of devolving consciousness everywhere we look right now. And in infinite wholeness, every part of everything is divinely timed and perfectly placed. So it's right here, right now. That's our evolution, is to just remember,
Remember who we are.
remember who you are. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the big one for, I think, a lot of us. Is that for me, it's been being willing to be seen, being vulnerable, and some of it does stand up. And some of it does stand up for myself and for others. Yeah. So standing up for ourselves and for others, absolutely. The thing, I mean, being seen and being heard and being acknowledged is one thing. Being accepted as those things that you are showing up as, that's a huge thing to leave even our house, right? So here we are, magnificent divine expressions of exquisite light, going out into the world, and people are bumping up to us like they don't see we're magnificent. And so it's really knowing that for ourselves, being willing to see the reflection in the mirror and accepting yourself as you see yourself right here and right now, being seen, being vulnerable with yourself. These are all first steps, and quite frankly, irrelevant outside of you. That's my hot take. It is none of my business what other people think of me. So being in my vulnerable state is me being in my power, and being, no matter how I am received outside of my own space or my own experience, how other people see me will never be what the divine sees me as or expresses as me. So that's for me been my whole journey, is to be seen. My wake up say thank you story is the fear of being seen, the fear of being vulnerable. And what I've known is that as I become more vulnerable and brave in my authentic nature, that I've just had this crazy whirlwind experience that really landed in this, like, that's the realm right here. Being seen, being vulnerable, being accepted as your authentic self. And then having someone reflect back to you just a whole bunch of just unnecessary, untrue things. You get to be this brave thing. I became this brave container because, wow, if that's what other people are going to think of me when I'm my true self, and my true self feels loving, feels kind, feels glorious, feels adventurous, feels brave, but no one else is going to accept me for me. I need to do that no matter what. And so now I do, because of that experience, because of people not accepting my authenticity and my vulnerability, it triggered them big time. That it's just, you can't put a bushel over your own light, or you're not going to see. You're not going to see yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So be who you are called to be in your authentic nature. And because if people like you or people don't, you have to like yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's spiritual evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Stop othering and just simply be your true self. Being seen, it's a wonderful thing when it's being seen by loving people who accept you for your authentic self. And if we aren't authentic out in the world, you're not really being seen. So vulnerability, bravery, those two things are hand in hand. I mean, Brene Brown, every single book Brene Brown has ever written, it's about that. Vulnerability and the courage to be yourself no matter what. So my last 3 years, the lessons I have learned have all been about standing up for myself and being brave enough to stand up in a public way for myself, and therefore everyone else around me too. I'm ranting a lot today.
Nothing wrong with that.
I guess, yes.
You tacitly referenced scripture,
Mm-hmm.
and what you referenced, you are the light of the world, but a light under a bushel cannot be seen. It does not give light to the household, right? And so shine your light forth. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, because I don't have it right in front of me.
So was the Bible.
And let's face it, every translation is in some manner a paraphrasing. So
yeah.
I feel like I'm in good company. But I recently came across an assessment of that passage. You are the light of the world and you are the salt of the earth. Light and salt. And what was suggested is that if we think of salt at the time, millennia ago, it was really used less as a spice and more of a preserve, like a way of preserving, And so there was this idea that if we are the salt of the earth, then we are preserving ourselves from actually rotting. Think about that. That's actually part of that metaphor. But also, when Jesus utters, "You are the light of the world," there's also a reference in a way to the Temple of Jerusalem, and that millennia ago, because there was no electricity in the way that we harness it now. I mean, electricity existed. They just didn't harness it in the way that we do now. So it was a very dark world at night, because you also, while there was ways you had lamps that would, that were oil lamps and things like that, you didn't necessarily utilize the lamps at for an extended period of time because it was really expensive.
Mm.
But the Temple of Jerusalem, apparently the way that the windows, the way that there were windows that were designed in the Temple of Jerusalem that were actually in the depth of the wall, they were narrower on the inside and wider on the outside. So that was almost like a cone. And apparently what it was designed that way because in the temple, they actually did keep the light illuminated all the time. So at night, the temple on the hill was actually illuminating and actually shining forth. And so that reference to being a light on a hill that Jesus utters when he says, "You are the light of the world," is a reference to us being the temple within ourselves.
Mm.
And so just some thoughts
Exactly.
around, it's so funny how, to me, like, because I come from religious science where there was less of a reliance on scripture, like going into unity, I'm much more interested in like exploring Christian scripture and Hebrew scriptures and looking at the metaphysical and metaphorical interpretations of them. Yeah. Anyway,
Absolutely. Yeah.
so I saw that and I thought, well, how beautiful is that to know that we
Mhm.
are preserving ourselves from the inner degradation of our souls through
Yeah.
spiritual practice, that we are the salt of the earth and that we are the light on the hill. We are the shining temple of love, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine a world where we all remember
Mm-hmm.
that we are the light on the hill. Yeah. This is
When
great.
I know I hammer this idea in a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
for me, the mission statement that we've adopted here, and I didn't coin this statement, it's coined by my mentor in ministry, but love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. And
Yeah.
the core of that, the ground upon which all of it really flows forth, is remember who you are. Because when we
Yep.
remember the truth of our being, when we remember that we are divinity in form, expressed and living the life of the divine, even though we reflect upon it and understand it and call it our own, we are living the life of God.
Mm-hmm.
And when we truly remember that and live from that point of view, those other two aspects, love only, forgive everything, they actually come naturally.
Yes.
They're a natural outflow of remembering who we are. That may have been really loud. I apologize for that little
That was a
slap.
good one.
Like,
Yes.
punctuate my point.
Exclamation point. Yes. Yeah. I love this. I accept myself fully, and in this acceptance, I discover unshakable strength. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We just did Contemplation Corner at One Love on the weekend on Saturday, and we studied the essay in Living the Science of Mind, getting along with people. Let me see if I can find it.
Mm-hmm.
Getting along with people. I love this book. His essays are wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
See, in my new studying devotion, I have taken out all of my bookmarks and placeholders and things. And so just the one I'm working on right now is there, but oh my gosh,
Mm-hmm.
it's too bad I can't find it, because it was like, this is what you do. Like, you know how Ernest Holmes always, and even in the Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz, it's simply this: just do this. This is all you need to do, you guys. That's what they're saying to us.
Mm-hmm.
Our teachers, just do this thing. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna find it now. But it goes along with the forget. Ooh, you are a spiritual broadcaster. Good one.
Yeah.
Where did it go? I don't know. Oh, that's too bad. It was so good.
So I actually have it because I have it on Kindle, so I was able to look it up pretty quickly. There's actually a paragraph that jumps out at me,
Mhm.
where he wrote this: "I have a method which will work for you if you will let it.
That's it.
Just forget all the past. Forgive yourself and everyone else for everything that has ever happened. Try to feel that everyone is doing about the best they can. Come to realize that while you were born into this world through your parents, you really are spirit. You really are born out of life with a capital L, life with a capital L. The thing that entered into you when you were born was God, the living spirit. Why not get back to the true center of your being and think and act and live from the point of view that you are one with everything because you are one with God? And I want to clarify something, because this is a particular time that Ernest Holmes wrote this, and he uses the phrase one with God, right? And we throw that phrase around a lot. But in his seminar lectures, which were written, towards the end of his time on this plane of action, he really reconsidered this idea that we verbalize in this way. He said, we are not one with God. We are not one in God. We are one of God. And I think that distinction really helps us in remembering who we are.
Yeah.
I started teaching a class last night. I started teaching the 12 Powers class, which is one of the official classes that Unity teaches. And we have a form in Unity called the 12 Powers that Charles Fillmore synthesized from his teachers and his study. And he says these are basically the 12 primary faculties of the divine: love, life, power, imagination, wisdom. I'm not able to get all of them in my mind right now. Will, order. These faculties are abilities that are inherent in the divine. And because we are that, they are inherent in each and every one of us. And if we harness these faculties, we actually lend ourselves to a greater high quality experience of life. Right. And last night was the first class, and we haven't started reading the book yet. And so I said, part of what happens as a teacher, and I know that you may experience this too, is you think, well, if we haven't started reading the book yet, what am I going to talk about in the first class? So almost always I go back and say, let's really just allow ourselves to root into what is the foundation upon which we are going to build this class. And so the foundation for me is the divine principle, which is, the way we utilize it today. It's a paraphrasing of Emma Curtis Hopkins' words. We are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe governed by a spiritual law. That's divine principle. And I always say, we only teach two things in New Thought. And we have 18,000 ways of approaching the two things we teach. And those two things that we teach are God is all there is. And part of that is, if God is all there is, it's who and what we are, because we cannot be separate from all that is. So God is all there is, and that all creation is the outflow of the law, which in Unity, we call it the law of mind action. And in religious science, it's called the law of cause and effect. And if you ever hear other laws like the law of correspondence or the law of reciprocity or the law, just know it's all the same law.
It's all the same law, the law of circulation.
It's all the same law. And so for building from that point of view, then what we can perhaps seek to know is that if we start with the foundation, I am, all those 12 powers flow forth from the infinite I am. So if we took into our practice the simple affirmations, I am faith, faith being one of the 12 powers. I am understanding, understanding being one of the 12 powers. Like, we complicate our affirmations sometimes so much.
Oh,
I am the
absolutely.
unlimited expression of the wholeness of the one power and presence that is the divine. Like, that's great and good, but sometimes simplify. I am infinite imagination. I am the outflow of willingness. One of my favorites, I am zeal. Because you know me,
I love zeal.
I'm enthusiastic, and zeal is enthusiasm.
Yep. I love zeal.
So the question becomes, upon what are you basing your entire foundation of spiritual practice? Because for me, the foundation for me has to be remembering who I am, that I am the I am. as we all are.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of my easy affirmations have always just been, I am love, being loving.
Mm-hmm.
I am joy, being joyful.
Mm-hmm.
And those are always like the ones that help me relax or help me get centered and grounded, just
Mm-hmm.
nice and easy.
Well, it's also called because we sometimes seek outside the self for these things, right?
Mhm,
Like, and I
mhm,
think specifically about love. I was addicted. I'm about to reference an '80s tune, Robert Palmer. I was addicted to love
mhm.
back in the day before I understood the tenets of New Thought, which resonated with my soul. Um, I would seek love outside the self, and it got me into a lot of trouble because
Yeah.
I thought I could derive love from something out there. And so I got myself into terrible relationships because I thought, oh, this is the one that's going to like fix all the things in my life, forgetting
Yeah.
that if I would like to experience love as a reflection in someone else, that I must be love and understand myself as love.
Mm.
So if you want love in your life, be the love and
Mhm.
begin to see how it's reflected back to you in all your
Yeah.
encounters.
I
Yeah.
don't I forget who said it, but, if you the quickest way to get a friend is to be one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
These are a activities of
Hmm.
and that's our prime teaching, right? If
Yes.
what you put out comes back to you. We are simply a reflection.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
And and it was either Holmes or Barker who said, if you want joy in your life, be the cause for someone else's joy.
Mhm,
Think about
mhm.
that.
Yeah, well, this is the stuff that's in this week's essay that I'm working through,
Hmm.
right? Um, like here again, he's giving you the key. He's got keys, he's got methods, he's got all these ways of just getting it done. Okay.
Hmm.
Here is one of the keys to successful living and right relationships among people. It is only when we are whole within ourselves that we can help others. It is only when we have faith that we can instill faith. It is only when we have hope and enthusiasm that others respond to us with an equal hope and enthusiasm. It's
Hmm.
not to say that that's the only thing that's going to attract. It's just making sure we know what we want to attract, making sure we know what we want. The best way to know what it is we want is to get to know yourself, your
Yeah.
preferences, your boundaries, your lines in the sand. Like all of these things are great input so that you know what you need to adjust in your frequency to
Hmm.
get the life that you want to have or that you
Hmm.
believe that you want to have.
Yeah. Go boldly in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined.
Yes.
Great advice. Great
Yeah.
advice. Yeah.
Now, and I
And
was just
also, one
mhm,
of the great advices of the world, as I think about it, because it's literally on a plaque that was given to me on the occasion of my, was it the occasion of my ordination in Unity Ministry or was it my doctorate? I don't remember. Anyway, um, there's a carving, and it's just slightly out of frame, so I'm pointing to it here. But that carving up there is a quote of Ralph Waldo Emerson that
mm,
says, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest achievement."
yep.
And so the call for me today, for all of us, is be your authentic self.
Mm. Because you're magnificent.
Yes. Yeah, we
There's
affirm that
nothing
every
more
week.
you need to do to become magnificent.
Mm-mm.
There's nothing more you need to do to be that. That's
No.
what you were born as.
Hmm.
That's so delightful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just yeah. I love the quote that you read. The line that really jumped for me is that forgive yourself and forgive everyone else for everything.
Hmm.
It doesn't continue. Everything that's wrong, everything that's harmed you, and everything like that. No.
It does
Forgive
continue for everything that has
everything.
ever happened. So it does
For
continue.
everything that has ever happened.
Ever happened.
Ever happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
You know,
like, that's some deep that is deep work.
forgiveness invites us into a state of grace.
Yes.
And
Yes.
boy, I want to live a graceful life.
Amen.
Mhm.
Yeah. I I
Mm.
I I have lived the alternative, and I'm here in grace now for good.
Yep. I've lived the alternative too. Not a place I
Yeah.
ever want to return to.
I don't need to. That fertilizer has grown perfect roses, and I don't need to go smell the fertilizer again.
Did you happen to watch my message on Sunday?
No, I haven't. I
Oh my god.
want to.
Just because fertilizer became a thing on my message on Sunday, you should go
Oh,
watch it.
really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I'll listen to it while I work later.
Yeah, and I alluded to the idea, what fertilizer is made of. I didn't say it out
Mm,
loud on the Sunday message, but fertilizer is made of
compostables.
fertilizer is made of BS.
Yeah.
But
Ah,
you know what?
yeah.
I don't think of BS in the traditional way many people think of BS because
Mm.
fertilizer is the outflow of your belief system.
Belief system, yeah.
That's how I think of BS. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, Lorelai's saying, "Reminds me
Mm.
of loving what is."
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what a great thing to return to, right? Just loving what is because it is. Like, when at whatever situation or experience we are in right now, it is. It's happening.
Yeah.
And how we engage and participate with it is the freedom that exists
Mhm.
within us. That is how we do it.
There's something though that comes up for me because, there are those because I mean, I do spiritual counseling sessions and there are people who have a really challenging time stepping into that frame of mind.
Mhm.
And so I actually have an idea to share that can invoke a growth into that mindset. Because if you are not in a mindful place of being able to love what is fully,
Mhm. Yeah.
well, find one thing. Find one thing. And what I often suggest is look in the mirror and find one thing about yourself to
Yeah.
love fully and work with that. It may be like, you know what? I really love that freckle. I love that freckle. Boy, that is something that is so unique. That particular way, that freckle, where it's placed, the particular tone and hue of it, like I love that freckle. And what
Mhm.
we can actually engage in ourselves is a growth from loving that freckle to loving the face,
Yeah.
loving the
Loving the
face
face where the freckle sits.
to loving the physical body, from loving the physical body to loving the energetic body. And it
Mhm.
grows and grows and grows and grows. So don't the basically say don't get caught up in feeling overwhelmed if you cannot step into loving all of what is right in this moment. Find
Yeah.
one thing to love and start from that baseline and grow from there.
Yeah. Yeah, we do not awaken overnight.
Mm-mm.
It's a process. And
Mhm.
anyone who says,
And
"I have"
and it's
yeah.
entirely possible. I want to be clear. It is
Oh,
entirely
it looks like
possible
overnight.
to have the illumination happen all at once.
Absolutely. Just the people I know on the journey get a little mucky and a little dirty on the path, you know?
It can happen, yeah.
And it happens. But there are absolutists for sure. I just in my experience, I've yet to hear an awakened soul or an enlightened teacher say, "That was easy."
um, used to have the Staples button on my desk, and if you hit it, it would say, "That was easy."
That was easy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Steph, look, it's
Absolutely.
it's
We did
almost
it.
time for us to find completion this week.
Yeah.
What a great conversation
And
this
we
was.
talked about so many things,
Yeah.
music and message and meaning.
Yeah.
If you're watching on the replay, engage in the comments because there is no time and space. You are not. And so we are right where you are watching wherever and whenever you're watching. So
Mhm.
let us know something you received, a nugget or something you received from our time together. And we would love you up on that for sure. And you see that we have email addresses underneath our names right there. So if you have something you want a radically affirmative new thought about and you want Jonathan and I to rant about, please feel free to reach out to us. We love hearing from
Yeah.
you, and we love your wisdom too. So what the universe is working on, it's working on through your ask.
Mhm.
And so just let us know what those asks are, and we will dive into a deep, delicious, wonderful conversation about that
Yes.
as well.
Yes. I
Anything else, Dr. Jonathan?
just wanna put this up. Love that. Bring back the easy button. I
Yes.
say yes to that.
I
Yeah, and
say yes to
yeah,
that.
thank you, Terry. Grateful to have you here. Grateful to have everybody here today. Always a
Mhm.
delight and a joy. And I'm so grateful, we're back to the rant after our summer hiatus. And it is something that inspires me. And so thank you, Steph, and thank everyone online for inspiring me today.
Mhm. Absolutely. Me too. Ditto. Ditto.
Yes.
Okay, beloveds, we'll see you right back here for another opportunity to rant next Wednesday. And
Mhm.
until then, peace.
Peace.
let, let
Blessings.
me find the outro video. There we go.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.